All right, what's up, y'all? How are you guys today? Welcome. Good morning. Today is the second day of February. Let's go live also on Facebook. What's up, Facebook? How are you guys today? Let's make sure that we're live. Let's make sure that we're doing everything right. I'm going live in a bunch of places, and sometimes, it's hard to keep track of everything and make sure that you share on the correct places without without breaking anything. So let me share that in the group, which is going to be digital marketing strategies for entrepreneurs. What's up, everybody? Diego, my friend, my brother, thank you for being here. All right, what's up, everybody? So all right, so I'm getting kind of crazy with this stuff, with this with this streaming type stuff. As you can see, I'm adding logos, I'm adding love with thirsts, and it's funny because there's so much tech that you can go with your own before you actually need help, and before it just becomes pain in the ass. With that being said, let me show you guys something. Let me see if I can do this without breaking anything. All right, pretty cool, huh? That's the intro. What do you know? That's the intro. We have an intro now for the live streams. All right, guys, how are you doing today? Hope you guys are super well. All right, so let's talk about something that happened this week specifically, which is, what do you do when things go wrong? And the reason why I wanted to bring that up, it's because of the fact that this was a really, really tough week for my funnel. It was a really, really bad week on Facebook. Things were going south, left and right. Campaigns or ad sets rather, that were working last week were not working anymore. And this was like a really, really high volatility type of week for whatever reason. This will happen with Facebook from time to time. Every time you're, advertising on Facebook, there are some weeks that are high volatility. So maybe some shit gets broken, or, stuff happens, and the reality is that you need to cope with it when you're advertising on Facebook. There are other platforms like AdWords, I think, that are not that volatile. So if you say, hey, AdWords just spent $100 per day, that's what AdWords will do. So you need to have that in mind. But when it comes to Facebook, Facebook has a really high volatility that you want to have in mind. So, it was kind of sucky because last week, we still got like 50 sales of the book, so I'm not complaining. But I'm always expecting, and I have this little thing right here. Woo! That's the Saturday morning star right there, baby. It's 11 a.m. in Argentina, by the way. It's not that early morning. So I was going through my funnel stats, and this week we got like 200 visitors to the book funnel, and we got like, I think it was like 50 sales or something along those lines, right? Or rather, yeah, it was like less than 10%, so that doesn't make any sense, Renan. Where's your math skill? So we had like something like 15 sales, and we got 200 unique hits. And this is a book funnel that I'm keeping low key, just because of the fact that I want to test it out first. And then once you test it out, I prove the concept that I can scale it. And by the way, if you want to get a copy of my book, Perpetual Profits, all you need to do is to go to perpetualprofits.net, and that will allow you to get a copy of my book. It's $5.60. And if you want to funnel hack the funnel, you can also do that. And you don't need to do that. You can just ask me directly, hey, what's your funnel about? But the book is pretty cool. So if you can get it, it's over here. All right. So with that being said, I was going through all of these stats, right? And last week we got 200 something visitors, the same amount of visitors. So it wasn't a traffic problem necessarily, right? I thought, okay, so this could be a traffic problem, right? If you see that last week or last month you got like 10,000 visitors, and this month you've got 5,000 visitors, and you're spending the same amount of money on ads, then that means that there might be a traffic problem that you need to address, right? So that's step number one. So it wasn't a traffic problem. I got the exact same volume and amount of traffic, but then I figured out something which was pretty cool. Number one, the conversion rate on the sales page went down. It didn't go dramatically down, but it went from 10%, and we're going on a week-to-week basis, right? And I usually don't do this. I like to make decisions based on month-to-month basis. But I just said, hey, what's going on? So I went in and I realized that the conversion rate for the sales page went down. But not only that, the average cart value also went down. That means that people that were going through the funnel were not as engaged with my stuff. Now, funny enough, and this is all a theory, by the way, I made a lot of changes today, and we will, here's the thing, I didn't change anything on the funnel. Like you want to test one thing at a time whenever you're doing changes. So if I would have made like changes on the funnel and then changes on the ad level and whatnot, it would have been crazy, right? Like maybe it worked, maybe it went even worse. Like I didn't get any sales next week, and what was the issue, right? You don't know. So you want to isolate the variables. So I went in and said, all right, the only thing that changed from last week to this week was that I was promoting my videos on Facebook. I decided, okay, what would happen if I go completely cold traffic to my book funnel? What would be the issue with that? And while there's nothing wrong with cold traffic, the reality is that we're getting a much higher, like almost double my average cart value just by tapping into those warm audiences. So, and that was like from last week to this week. So I think that there's a point there in terms of the mechanics of, number one, the value that warm audiences might have for your businesses. And by warm audiences, I mean people that have engaged with your page, people that are visiting your stuff, people that are watching your videos like this one and whatnot. And that is like the value that you can get from those warm audiences. It's huge, right? So build those warm audiences, build that personal brand. That's what I'm always telling you guys about. Number one, but also what can you do when things go wrong? When a funnel that was working amazingly well last month, this month does not work. So you need to isolate the variables. You need to go in and say, okay, so take like 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours. It doesn't really matter. This is a high value task. All right. So you need to make the time to do it. Sometimes people say, well, I'm not into my stats because I don't have the time. If you don't have the time to go through your stats, you don't have the time to work on your business. You're working, in your business, not on your business. So the point is that you want to isolate the variables. What changed? And it might very well be Facebook being Facebook, and it might very well be that next week we crash it again and whatnot. But, I was seeing that the amount of sales was declining. So I go in and said, all right, so what changed? What really changed? Was it the traffic? No, it wasn't. Was it the amount of sales? Okay, yes, it was. But what else? Was it the cart value? Yes. It dropped like dramatically in half. So I said, all right, so it's not a matter of quantity of traffic at this point. It's a matter of quality of traffic. I didn't change anything else. Okay? So when something is not working, you need to isolate the variables. So, for instance, yesterday I was doing some coaching calls and people were saying, well, I have a Facebook ads problem. I'm getting a lot of traffic, but my landing page is not converting. And I was telling them, no, you don't have a Facebook ads problem. You have a landing page problem, right? If your landing page is not converting, you have a landing page problem, not a Facebook ads problem, because you're getting traffic, okay? Maybe you can enhance the quality of the traffic. Of course, you can choose a different objective. You can go from there. But it's usually something that has to do with the amount of the quality of traffic that you're targeting on Facebook, but also it has to do with your funnel, okay? So people think that just by tweaking a couple of things on Facebook, things will go amazingly well. But in this case, it was something else. It was part of the strategy. So I've turned everything back on this week, starting today, and we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated, all right? But it's really important that you isolate the variables and you put your thinking cap on and you go from there. Let me see if we got any questions. What's up? Mauricio, my man. Saravanan, what's up, buddy? How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to this live stream. It's Monday morning. At least it's Monday morning where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are at. All right. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me today. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Make the most out of it. If you really want to get ahead of your game, if you really want to move your business forward, I strongly suggest that you go and get a copy of my book, Perpetual Profits, which you can get. What's up, Chad? My man, Chad. How's that funnel coming, brother? How's that funnel coming along, man? Let me know. And you can get it by going to perpetualprofits.net. If you go to perpetualprofits.net, it's there on the comments. You will be able to get a copy of my book. It's $5.60. There's a bunch of other stuff on that page. You don't need to take it if you don't want it. If you do want it, take it. If you don't want it, don't take it. Super easy, right? Okay, guys. Have an awesome weekend. Setting up, okay, Chad is saying, setting up my retargeting campaign after the conversation we had yesterday. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Post on the group, you know. I'll help you out for sure. That's awesome, my man. All right, everybody, have an awesome weekend. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.